It's one of those days, guys. It's one of those days, you know? Some days you just gotta eat like a king, you know? Welcome back, everybody, to another Recipe Wednesday where we make one recipe on a Wednesday. My name is Patrick Erskine. Every so often you have one of those days when you're down and out, you kick the curb, and you just throw in the flag. I don't know about you guys, but the best way for me to get jolted back into like ecstatically happy is to make something cool. So on today's Recipe Wednesday, we're gonna make the craziest, like, show-off, cool, king-like food that I can think of, the Korkenbouche. It looks super impressive, it blows people's minds, but it's actually really easy. It's just a little bit of technique, which I'm about to show you. So with no further ado, let's get cooking. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so in cooking, there are recipes and there are techniques. A cookbook will teach you a recipe. A weird guy on YouTube will teach you the technique. A Korkenbouche literally is just a technique. And once you get the technique down, it's really fun to make. So, first step. We gotta get our liquids. Okay, get a bowl and add 1/2 cup of whole milk. Then 1/4 cup water and a ½ teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar. And 1 stick of butter, or ½ cup of butter. Take this, add this to a pot, and get it melted. Now you want the butter to melt and you want the milk to come to a boil. As soon as it does, you're gonna add 1 cup of flour. Then drop the heat to medium and move this around. It's gonna make like a paste. So why are we cooking dough in a bakery recipe? It's actually pretty interesting. So we have flour, water, and milk all together. And because there's no yeast or baking soda in this recipe, we have to find a different way to leaven the dough. And that's why we're cooking it. The flour absorbs the water and milk, swelling the starches, creating a sticky structure throughout the entire dough, which will then trap steam, which will help leaven the dough. You want to keep cooking that for about 5 minutes, and after that, take it off the heat. Okay, so now we got this goopy flour paste looking thing. So what you're gonna do with this now is you're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes, just so it's not so hot. And then add it to a bowl. And then we're gonna grab 6 eggs. We might not use them all, it's depending how large they are. So 6 eggs the most. And so grab 1 egg and we're gonna add the eggs one at a time. So add that to the bowl. Once that egg's all incorporated, add another egg. And keep adding them until the consistency's kind of like this. Like a paste. Nice sturdy paste. And now for the fun part. Grab a bag, poke your finger in the bag, pinch your finger, and give it a little snip. Now it's useful if you have one of these piping tips, straight circle ones. Put that in the bag. And put all that dough in the bag. So then you make little Hershey Kisses. And these will become little cream puffs, or you can make these cool logs, and that'll become an eclair. And then take a wet finger and dab down that little point, because you want them to be little balls. And then get an egg wash, which is just a scrambled egg and a little bit of water added. Give them a little brush. Don't skip this step, it's really important. I'll tell you why in a sec. Now, into the oven. Now, wait, this is the coolest part. It's the biggest secret, the coolest part of this recipe / technique overview. It's the secret, it's the thing this is the thing that you'll never learn in a cookbook. Okay, wait, let me show you. Okay, let me tell you a secret, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Come. So you need to set your oven to bake and at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, it's this. Once you're there, you turn it off and throw them in. So then after 10 minutes of sitting in there with the oven off, cooling down, after that 10 minutes, you're gonna turn it to 350 degrees and let it cook for 15 minutes. So why do you do that? That's the secret. That's the cool thing. Here, watch this. so far the dough has been cooked and egg washed. And now it's been put in a high temperature oven slowly going down. What that does is really quickly cook that egg wash, creating almost a balloon which will trap in all the steam. And so when you turn the oven back on, it's created a skin, trapping all expanding air, creating a bubble in the middle. Make sense? Isn't that cool? That's... Ah! It's cool! And there we go. Check this out. They're hollow. And what you can do with this now, you can make a pastry cream or a whipped cream, poke a hole in the bottom, and fill them up, and they become cream puffs. Or what you can just do, grab some whipped cream and do the same. Holy cow. Check that out. Quick and easy cream puffs. And with the bars, these can become eclairs. This is how you do that. Grab a bowl, add a cup of powdered sugar, and then a tablespoon at a time of whole milk. Give it a mix. One more tablespoon. You can add some frosting that has some different colors. This one has blue. And then you get your log and you dip it. And there you go, you got some cool eclairs. So that's pretty cool, right? But now I want to feel special, you know, I want to feel like a king. Or, you know, queen. King. So the first thing we need to do to get on a path of feeling like a king is first make a bunch of cream puffs. Check. Bunch of cream puffs. Done. And the next thing we need to do is get a base. A coney base. Base and a cone. Tape it down. There we go. And get a nice heavy pot and add some sugar. And then heat the sugar to exactly 300 degrees. That's when it's going to harden. And then dip your cream puffs into the sugar and place them to the side. There it is, the legendary Korkenbush. Korkenbush, which is just a bunch of cream puffs stuck together with molten sugar, and you just throw caramel over the top, and you put this in the middle of the table, and people are like, what are you doing here? We can't roll with you, you're too cool, you got way too cool food. This thing is cool. And our crave filled. I'll put this right here. Oh, and apparently the spots are normal, that means it's healthy. Thank you guys. So I think I got it down how I want this channel to be organized. Every Wednesday there's going to be it's going to be the Recipe Wednesday, one recipe alternating sweet and savory, and that's where we go through the technique, the recipe, the how-to, and just geek out over some food. And then on the weekends, I'm going to work on another episode, maybe every week, maybe every other week, where I just dive into something that's really cool in the food world that I really want to share with you guys, or just make something crazy, or just geek out. Just geek out. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked today's recipe, definitely like, subscribe, notify button, because subscribing doesn't do anything apparently. But as always, keep cooking. Bye.